I love a good drink. There we go. See you later. There we go. So we are going to be up into on our hands and knees. We're going to be going for a good bit of time on our hands and knees. So just make sure that when you're on your hands and knees, you've got a few different hand positions that you can go into. You could go into it with your fist, or you could go palm of the hand, face down, face forwards, or you can go palm of the hand, face down, face out to the side. So while we're on our hands and knees, you can change your hand position. And if you do need to sort of come off the hands, then just remember that you can give the hands a little bit of stretch as conducting, or piano playing and conducting, whatever suits you. So we're going to go onto our hands and knees. We're going to have hands just directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath hips. We're going to take one leg out behind you. So you're going to take one leg out behind you. You're going to point the toes. We're going to keep the hands on the floor. We're going to keep the hips nice and level. And then you're going to lift the back leg off the ground. So you're trying to keep that knee as straight as possible. And we're going to hold that position for a couple of seconds. You're sort of really trying to lift through the hip. So we don't want to be lifting through the knee. You're lifting through the hip, keeping the leg straight. Then we're going to drop it down and we're going to change sides. So we're going to take the other leg out behind. You're pointing your toes. You're keeping your leg nice and straight. And things just to be aware of is that you're not dropping your belly button to the floor. So we're not really arching the back. You want to sort of be sucking that belly button in and trying to keep the back nice and flat. And then you're going to lift through the hip. Again, pointing the toes, making sure that you're not sagging the belly button down to the floor. You're sucking that belly button in. We're holding that position. And then you're going to drop the leg down and we're going to change sides. Bring the knee in and then we're going to change sides. So you're going to go leg out behind. This time we're going to go for 5 repetitions. So you're keeping the belly button sucked in, keeping the back flat, lifting through the hip. You should feel it into your bum muscle. You should feel the bum muscle contracting. Then you're going to drop the leg down, keep it straight, and then lift it back up again. You're going to drop the leg down, keep it straight, and then lift it back up again, and then drop it down. We're going to go 3, and down, 2, and down, 1, and down. Bring the knee under, and then we're going to change sides. So you're going to take the other leg out behind, pointing the toes, keeping the knee nice and locked out, lifting through the hip, making sure you're not dropping the belly button. So keeping that stomach engaged and lifted, and then dropping it down and back up. Dropping it down and back up. We're going to go for 3 more. So 3, and down, 2, and down, 1, and then down. Bring the knees under. Just drop your bum back to your ankles, and then drop your elbows down onto the floor. And then you can also, while you're in this position, just take the hands into a little bit of a roll. You can come up and down like you're playing the piano. You can squeeze the fingers out like you're doing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And then we're just going to hold that position for a little second. And we're going to go back up onto the hands and knees, remembering that if you need to, you can change your hand position. So if you want to, you can go onto your fist, or you can go palm of the hand flat down. So this time we're going to go for 10 repetitions. We're going to take the leg out behind. A couple of people there, just watch what's happening with the shoulders as well. So what we don't want to do is we don't want the shoulders to be sort of, your chest to be sagging down to the floor. You want to be pushing through the hands while you're doing that movement as well. So you just want to make sure that you're not sort of dropping down through the shoulders. You're pushing the hands away while keeping the belly button tucked and the legs straight in behind. We're going to go for 10 repetitions. We're going to go for 10 and down, 9 and down. Keep that back leg fully straight. So the knee doesn't bend at all. So the knee stays straight for that whole movement. That's it. And we're going to go up. We're going to go for 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more, coming up, dropping it down, bring the knee back under, and we're going to change sides. So you're going to go other leg behind. Remember, don't let this chest sag down to the floor, pushing away through the hands, keeping the belly button sucked in, and then lifting through the bum. We're going to go for 10 repetitions. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 more, coming down, bringing the knees under, and then just dropping your bum back. Drop the elbows down to the floor, and if you need to, you can twist the fingers, you can do your sort of patting of the hands, or you can do your twinkle twinkles. And we're just going to rest there for a little second. There's a lot of twinkle twinkles going on there. We're going to hold that position. And then we're going to go back up onto our hands and knees. So this time, as you do this one, you're going to also, if you want to, you can introduce the hand as well. So we're going to work on opposites. We're going to take one leg out behind, pointing the toes, keeping the knee nice and straight. Remember that you're not sort of sagging down through the chest, you're lifting up through the chest. And then your opposite hand, so I'm using my left leg, I'm using my right hand. Right hand, palm of the hand is going to be pointing inwards. And then you're going to lift both of them at the same time. You're going to drop it down and then back up. Drop it down and back up. We're only going to do 5 initially, really thinking about keeping the hips and the shoulders nice and stable. We're going to go for 2 more. 2, and then 1 more. 1, drop the hand down, bring the hand under, and we're going to change straight onto the other side. So you're going to go leg behind, hand forwards. We're going to lift both of them at the same time. Just watch that the shoulder doesn't sort of drop down as you do it. You're keeping your shoulders nice and level, so it's only the actual shoulder joint that's moving, not the whole chest or the whole trunk. We're going to lift both at the same time. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands under, drop the knee down, bring the bum right back to the ankles, drop the elbows down. You can do your wrist movements and your finger movements if you need to. We're going to just hold this position for a little moment. And then we're going to go up onto our hands and knees again. So this time again, if you need to, change your hand position, go onto your fist or your wrist, or your palm of the hand face down. We're going to do that same movement. We're going to go for 10 repetitions this time. So leg out behind, opposite hand forwards, pointing the fingers, pointing the toes. Don't drop the shoulders or the hips. Keep it nice and elegant. We're going to come up and then down. Coming up and then down. We're going to go for 10 repetitions. 9 and 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands under. We're going to change straight onto the other side. So other leg behind. This is the last movement we're doing on our hands and knees. You're going to bring the other hand forwards, other leg behind, working on opposites, keeping the belly button sucked in, remember? And we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and 1. Bring the hand under, bring the knee under, drop your bum back to the ankles, Drop the elbows down. Again, if you need to, you can stretch the wrist off, stretch the fingers off. We're just going to hold this for about 20, 30 seconds. And then we're going to come up. We're going to roll down onto our backs. So you're going to go down just onto your back. So you're going to go down just onto your back. We're going to bring both knees up towards you. So you're just hugging both knees in towards you, getting a nice bit of a stretch just onto the low back. You're just hugging the knees in, holding that position. Then we're going to go soles of the feet down onto the floor. We're going to go hands out wide. So get the hands out wide, feet together, knees together, and then you're just going to drop your knees out to the side. Again, we're going to hold that position. Really beautiful stretch for your low back, mid back, lovely way of just opening up the joints, getting rid of all that stiffness from sitting. We're going to come back up, change sides, drop the knees down to the other side. Again, just holding that position. And you're going to come back to the center. We're going to walk both legs out away from you. You're going to bring one knee up towards you. You're going to pull that knee in. And you're just going to pull it straight up towards the shoulder. If your other leg lifts up off the ground, just make sure that the back of the knee, you sort of squeeze the back of the knee onto the floor. So if you find that the other leg lifts up off the floor, just make sure that the back of the knee stays on the floor. And again, you're going to hold that position. And then we're going to change sides. You're going to bring the other knee down, bring the other leg up towards you, pull it in. Make sure the back of the knee is on the ground as you do that. And we're going to hold that position again. And then we're going to go soles of the feet down on the ground. So walk the soles of the feet down on the ground. You're going to walk the heels right up towards your bum. You're going to have 6 inches just between the feet and a fist between the knees. We're going to go into a shoulder bridge position. So we're going to think about our hips and our low back to start with. So you can imagine there is a bucket just sitting on your belly button, and we want to try and tip that bucket up towards our head. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our bum underneath, tuck your coccyx underneath, your sacrum underneath, and you're going to try and flatten your low back down against the ground. So you can imagine there's like a little grape or a little olive or something just underneath your low back, and you're trying to squash that olive with your low back. So we're going to keep that position, and then you're going to try and lift your tailbone off the ground. And then you're going to continue up, lifting your hips right up towards the ceiling, squeezing through your bum muscles, making sure that you're not lifting through your belly button. So what can happen is people can lift through your belly button and your bum will snag down to the floor. So we want to make sure that the bum is tucked and you're lifting, and you should be squeezing through your bum muscles rather than trying to lift through your belly button. So you should be squeezing through your bum muscles, using those bum muscles to get you up. We're going to slowly let the whole of the back go back down onto the ground. And then you're going to go down. We're just going to relax onto that position. And then you're going to do it again. So you're going to tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift your tailbone off, lift the hips right up towards the ceiling, squeezing through your bum muscles, getting as high as you feel able. We're going to hold that position. And then we're going to let every bit of the spine come back down, all the way onto the ground, and then just relax. And then we're going to go through it again. So tuck the bum, flatten the back, squeeze through the hips. Again, we're going to hold that position. And then you're going to slowly let every bit of the spine all the way down onto the ground, and then let the hips relax. And then same movement again. So tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift the hips all the way up, really squeezing through those bum muscles, getting the hips as high as you feel able. And then slowly let every bit of the spine go back down onto the ground. And then relax again. And we're going to go one more time. You're going to tuck your bum, flatten the back, lift your tailbone, squeeze through the bum muscles all the way up, right up towards the ceiling. Hold that position for 2 and 1, and then let every bit of the spine come all the way back down onto the ground, and then bring the knees up and just hug the knees in towards you. Again, we're just going to hug the knees in. We're going to hold that position. Just get a little bit of a stretch just onto the low back, a little bit of a stretch just into the hips. And then we're going to go soles of the feet down on the floor. Arms are going to go out wide. We're going to drop both knees down towards one side. And then you're going to bring the knees up, change sides, drop the knees right down to the other side. And then you're going to come back to the center. So you're going to have soles of the feet on the floor. You're going to bring one ankle up onto your knee. Hands are going to come either side of the thigh that the ankle is on. So I'm using my right ankle. My right ankle comes onto my left knee. And then my hands go in behind my left thigh. And you're going to pull your thigh up towards you. So you can pull it slightly differently. If you pull straight up towards you, you're going to get a certain stretch. You pull slightly out to the side, you're going to change that stretch. If you pull a little bit more to the center, towards the other side, you're going to get, again, change that stretch. So we're going to hold it, actively pull it in for the whole time. We're going to hold it for another couple of seconds. And then you're going to let your feet go down to the floor. We're going to change sides. So you're going to bring your other ankle up onto your knee, hands either side of the thigh that the ankle is on. And you're going to pull your thigh up towards you, getting that nice stretch down into your bum. Little muscle called your piriformis muscle. Beautifully complex muscle, beautifully simplistic. Nice wee muscle. We're going to pull it up towards you. You're going to hold that position. And then you're going to let the legs go down onto the floor again. We're going to roll just onto your stomach. So we're going to roll just all the way onto your stomach. You're going to start off just by propping yourself up onto your elbows. Palms of the hands are going to be face down. You're going to lift your head, look at the wall opposite you. We're going to hold that position. You're just getting a sort of like a little bit of mid-back stretch rather than a low back stretch. We're just going to hold that position a couple of wee seconds. Then you're going to go forehead just down onto the floor. We've got one last exercise to do, and we've got 2 stretches to do. So we're going to go into our prone Superman position. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the head, we're going to lift the shoulders, lift the elbows, and lift the hands off the ground. So the hands aren't touching the ground, the elbows don't touch the ground, the forehead doesn't touch the ground. We're keeping the knees and the ankles on the floor, just initially. So we're just lifting the upper body. And your hands, I would call this the W position. So you've got your fingers going down to your elbows, elbow comes up to your shoulder, and then the same on the other side. This is our W position. We're going to hold this position for 3, 2, and 1. And then you're going to let the forehead go down onto the floor. Then we're going to do that movement again. So you're going to lift your head, the elbows, shoulders, hands up off the ground. Don't let anything touch. You're squeezing your shoulder blades back and together as well. You keep your forehead and your eyes looking down at the floor. We're going to hold that. We're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the head come down. And we're going to do that same movement again. So you're going to lift up through the head, shoulders, elbows, and hands. Squeezing the shoulder blades back, and if you want to, you can also lift your knees and your ankles up off the ground. We're going to hold that position. So we're going to hold for 5 seconds. We're going to hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the head go down. We're going to do that one more time. So this is the last exercise of the day. We're going to lift through the head, shoulders, elbows, hands, coming up. We're going to hold that position. And we're going to hold that position. Coming up. So we're going down onto our stomachs, into prone, lifting the head, shoulders, elbows, hands, knees, and toes. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds. We're going to go for 9, 8, and this is the last little exercise. And we've got a few wee stretches. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down onto the ground. We're going to just get ourselves comfortable. And what I want you to do is you can bring your hands onto the towel and you can drop your head down. You can have your head to the side. You can have your head face down. You can just try and get yourself as comfortable as possible in that position. What we're going to do is we're going to think about our breathing. You're going to think about taking a big deep breath in through the nose. You're taking a big breath in through the nose. And then you're going to slowly just breathe out through the mouth. So you're going to take a big deep breath in through the nose. And then slowly out through the mouth. And take a deep breath in through the nose, and then slowly out through the mouth. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get that breath right down to the base of the lungs. So when you take a deep breath in through the nose, you're really trying to get that air right to the base of the lungs. Let the rib cage expand as you're doing that. So big deep breath in, expand the rib cage, and then slowly just let the breath go out through the mouth. Big deep breath in, and then slowly out through the mouth. This time, as you take a deep breath in, think about expanding the rib cage, but when you breathe out through the mouth, just think about letting the low back muscles relax. So deep breath in through the mouth, in through the nose. Expand the rib cage. And then slowly breathe out through the mouth. And let the low back just relax. Big deep breath in through the nose. Expand the rib cage. Then slowly breathe out through the mouth, letting your low back muscles just relax, letting the weight of the hips just go down into the mat. Another big deep breath, last big breath. So you're going to breathe in through the nose, really expanding the rib cage, getting that breath right down to the base of the lungs, and then slowly just breathing out. Thinking about letting the back muscles relax completely. Just let the breathing just go gentle. Just feel the belly button sort of going into the ground and then out of the ground. Try and let the breath just go really relaxed. Feel the tension in the low back and feel the tension in the neck. Just let those muscles just relax. Then what you're going to do is you're going to bring your hands just under your shoulders. Forehead is going to go face down, and you're going to push up through the hands up into extension. And then you're going to slowly come down. And then you're going to push back up through the hands all the way up into extension. Try not to let the shoulders peek up towards the ears either. Keep the shoulders down. And then you're going to come back face down again. And then we're going to go for two more. So pushing up through the hands, up into extension. Hold that position. And then coming back down. We're going to go for one more. Pushing up through the hands, up into extension, holding that position, and then you're going to come back down. Then last little stretch, we're going to go up onto our hands and knees. You're going to bring the towel just down with you as well. You're going to drop your bum back towards the ankles. You're going to curl yourself up into a little ball. Take the elbows onto the floor as well. We're going to hold that position. We're going to hold it for about 30 seconds to a minute. Try and get yourself as comfortable as possible. We're just going to hold it. Just feel that nice little stretch. We'll try a little bit of music again. 30 seconds of music.
It's just polyester, but you like her better. I wish I were Heather. Why would you ever kiss me? I'm not even half as pretty. You gave her your sweater. It's just polyester.
Then just walk the hands in close. Go up into kneeling. That is the end of our second wee half an hour there. So a little bit of hands and knees, a little bit of shoulder bridges, a little bit of prone Superman, a little bit of stretching as well. So really nice to have everybody along today. Really nice to see some really good smiley faces. We're back in it. We've got 8 weeks of go, go, go. 6 classes a week. Nicola's doing the evening class on Thursday. I'm doing the other classes. I've got a new physio starting as well, so he won't be doing Pilates initially, but we'll sort of bring him in, get him doing a few classes as well, get him meeting all you lovely people. So he's going to be doing some extra work for me as well, which is great. But yeah, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Hope it's a good one this year, and we will see your big, lovely, smiley faces at some point over the next couple of weeks. There we go. See you later. Nice to see everybody. See ya. Bye, Barbara. Bye, Pauline. See ya. See you, Lila. Bye, Rosemary. See ya. Bye, Isabel. See ya.